Welcome back to my Getting Just a Little Bit Better series. Today, we're going to focus on a specific formation that is probably going to give a lot of people trouble. And that is Mid Blitz out of the nickel double mug look. This formation, especially in college football 25, gave everybody absolute hell on the offensive side of the football. Now, it's a little bit more nerfed in college football 26, but it's still one of those go-to pass rushes for literally anybody that you're going to play against. And this isn't so much a defense that you're going to see the computer run a ton, but if you're in an online dynasty, you will see some other player in your league run this defense. And you need to be able to effectively beat it so that way they don't run it on you anymore. And this is going to be kind of a how to beat zero blitzes in general, rather than just the mid blitz. The mid blitz is just going to be the most common one that you see. So this series really started when, if you haven't checked it out yet, the online dynasty that's on my channel, The League, absolutely you should check it out. It's phenomenal. There's 19 different people in it, and we have fantastic variety of, players in there. But there's a group of players in there that just has not been able to figure out how to win football games, whether it's against other users or it's against the Heisman CPU that we play. This series really stems from trying to help them become better at the game because the game isn't as hard as some people make it out to be. And there are easy fixes for you to be able to do. A lot of that comes with understanding the game of football and where your counters lie. And so, that's the stemming of this video series. And I've released 4 episodes on it so far. The first 2 did really well. The second 2 did not get as much traction. And I think I've found where that comes from. Talking about the offensive side of the football seems to be getting a lot more traction than talking about the defensive side of the football. Not really sure why that is, but we thought, why not go back to the offensive side of the football and show people how to defeat one of the most common blitzes that you will see in this game. So, the key here is understanding what mid blitz is and how it affects the offense and how it essentially wins. So if you are a defense, you automatically have a +1 in terms of on-the-field players because the quarterback really isn't a factor in blocking, in route comp. They can only run or throw the football. And so really it's an 11 on 10. And what does this allow you to do? Because theoretically speaking, if they block 10 guys, which is the most amount they can do, you can bring 11, right? So that's kind of how the numbers game works. The way that mid blitz is designed to effectively win is that they can go a 6-man rush and play man coverage on the back end and have every single player covered, meaning that they have one free blitzer. So I'll show you how this works, just base level formation. You see there's a free rusher right off the edge there, right? So I had every single player go out into a route, and that player on the edge was left unblocked. As you can see right here, he is the unblocked defender. Now, you can change this target, as I've explained in my past videos, by flicking up the right stick and moving it around here. So if you want to untarget this guy, you can untarget this guy. What's this going to do is it's going to make it so that when they pass block, they're going to leave that guy untouched. As you can see right there, they do not block him. So now that you understand that, you understand how the front works, we need to understand how they man it up on the back end. So as you can see, I'm running a mesh spot concept. So corner on the outside, on the left side of your screen, is going to be manned up on Butler. Your nickel corner is going to be manned up on Lacey, who's the inside slot receiver. And then the other corner is going to be manned up on Walker, who is that right corner on the outside. Where you can take advantage of this defense is in the safeties. Because right now, you have 2 safeties that are playing a 2-high look. What does that mean? It means that there are, at 10 yards of depth. Right? They were in a 1-high look. It would mean you only have 1 safety up top, usually 10 to 12 yards of depth, sometimes 15. Now, where this allows you to kind of succeed is that And this is usually how it works. This is usually how the game sets it up. That safety that has the star under him will be manned up with the tight end, because there is a greater chance that the tight end is running a crossing route that he'll be able to pick up rather than the running back. Or if it was the running back who was running to the opposite side of the field, they got to get through the muddle that is the offensive line and the defensive line. So likely the safety on the same side as the running back will have him. And we'll go, and that's exactly what happens. So now that you understand how it mans up on the back end, we can get into some formations that will allow you to take advantage of this. So I'm going to give you a couple of fixes. This isn't just going to be, a one fix for it. I'm going to give you options, because options are the best way that you can succeed, really. And so the first option is that you go 5 wide, because this is going to put the defense in a position where they're not going to be able to cover all the quick hitters. And so your best bet as an offense is to give yourself quick wins, right? They are bringing an extra man. You do not have time to push the ball down the field. Call plays and create hot routes that are going to give you options to win early. And so I call this mesh concept. Why? Because the mesh has the motion. And a motion is going to give you a better initial release than the base release would. So we're going to bring him in motion. We're going to see the corner try and stick to him. He's not going to be able to. I got that little separation, right? The thing that a lot of people don't realize when somebody is running mid blitz against them is that they're always trying to push the ball down the field. And I'm not sure entirely why that is the case, why that's the thought process. Because if you do get the quick wins, there is a really good chance that you now have one tackle to break for a touchdown, or you have a bunch of space for a chunk play. It's all about the rack game when you're going against a man blitz. Look at this. Bang. Get the ball out. Look at this rack. Bang. Make one cut. Touchdown. It's literally that easy. So 5 wide, give yourself quick wins. That's going to be a key factor. And I'll show you, some other formations as well, so you can kind of get an idea. I think mesh is a great concept to use when you're going up against man. It's proven to work time and time again. You can also get motion on it as well. So this is a different kind of mesh concept, but there is a motion into a post. The reason why you might want to run this is because, look at that. Because if you put your tight ends so in this situation, my running back, Krettel, who will be manned up on the safety, if you put them on some sort of drag route, well, they have 8 yards of space between them and the safety, which means that they're going to have a freer release and give you an easier chance to have that free win. Look at that. Right there. I'm picking up 5 yards, right? When they're in mid blitz, your goal is to just not get sacked. And so if you're able to put, let's just go into a, 4 verticals look and kind of show you some other options you could have. Just put these guys on an out route, on a drag. Give yourself a quick win. That was an awful pass. Nicholas, we got to be better. Just look. Quick win. And he missed it again. I'm determined to hit this. We'll do a speed out on the other side too. And I guess we just can't catch the ball. Did I find some sort of glitch in the game? So you really just want to make it so that they have a tougher time catching up. Look at this. Now you got room to run, make a move. You're picking up 10, 15 yards. So that's one option. And honestly, that might be your best option. Because in the game, if they pick their defense first without you having picked your play, please pay attention. In that bottom left corner of the field that we see right now, it will show up with their formation. If you see mid blitz on there, please go into 5 wide, because it is going to give you so many quick win opportunities. So another way you could beat mid blitz is by going in some sort of 2x2 set. The reason why you want to do this is because, as you'll see in this setup, everybody is manned up across the board, but because it's a natural cover 2 shell, that safety on the left side is responsible for man coverage on my running back. Meaning that he is essentially going to have a free release into the flat. So we're going to put him on a flat route. So this is just going to have, he literally is just going to run to the flat, and it's going to be the quickest win that you will see. Look at this. We'll even run it to the other side. In this 2x2 set, I'm setting this defense up to fail, because they now have to come across the entire field in order to cover that running back. But that play is going to allow you to really dictate what the defense is able to do. You can also go in a 3x set. You know, you can nub it. You can do really kind of whatever you want. But when you nub, it sets up the same way so that your running back is going to be covered by the backside safety, meaning he gets a free release. You use your running back to your advantage. Look how easy it is. If you're not using your running back against cover 0, you're not doing it right. It's literally as simple as this. You see they're coming out in mid blitz. Boom. Your other option is to just block everybody. So you now have 6 on 6 because you're blocking your running back, which means that you need one of your 4 receiving options to win. If they don't, well, then you're screwed. And again, you're not looking for a big play. You're looking for that nice, just don't lose yards. That's the mentality you need to have. That's the mentality you need to have. Just don't lose any yards. You just go to the flat, quick flat route. Remember, give yourself quick wins. If your guy's playing off, if that safety's playing off on your tight end, it's just get him the ball. Get him the ball immediately. Look at that. You pick up 7-8 yards. Because the most likely thing that's going to happen here is that a user is going to be using one of the 2 middle linebackers that's in the A gap. Your job is to really win away from the middle of the field. Because chances are they're going to be deciding whether or not to come based off of if the running back goes out in formation. If the running back stays in the block, they're going to blitz as well. The nice thing about mid blitz and why it's so effective defensively is because if you use one of the guys that's blitzing, you can essentially add another player in either the blitz or in your pass defense, depending on what you see pre-snap. So if you're playing against a really good user, you have to give yourself options to win that they can't control, that are solely reliant on the CPU doing its job. And this is why you have to understand what the CPU's responsibilities are so that way you can take advantage of them. So if you like I said, running back, great option. Why? Because they're not going to be able to get out there in time. If they're using one of the middle linebackers, they're just simply not going to be able to get out and cover this stuff. So you run a speed out. You pick up 20 yards. If you try and throw it over the middle of the field, they will catch it. 100%. So chances are, if you're playing against somebody who mid blitzes, they're going to call mid blitz before you even get to your play call screen, right? They're just going to go immediately to it. You're still going to be picking your play on offense. This is going to allow you to set your offense up to really run it well. And where does mid blitz, where is it weak in the run game? Well, there are no second level defenders. So if you're able to get to the edge and essentially not block any of these guys on the backside, you now have numbers on the front side with no real pursuit angles. So here's how it's going to look in terms of blocking. So that backside edge is not getting blocked. I have now everybody blocked elsewhere, and I have a pulling guard here. So here's a play. Got my center pulling. Look at that. Everybody was accounted for, and there was no second level help. That's where the toss plays can get you in trouble, is that the flow of the linebackers will make you cut inside. It'll force you, either to make a decision inside, outside that restricts your ability to score. Here, as long as you get your blocks, it's a touchdown. It's not always a touchdown, but it's a chunk play. It's also going to allow you to be able to run the ball up the middle. And it's not going to work as effectively as to the outside, but it will allow you to run because it's going to keep those backside guys unblocked. And so when you run it, I got a triple pancake there. Are you kidding me? But when you run it, you'll see the no second level defenders really allow you to have as much as you want, as long as you're able to get through that first level, have as much as you want in terms of yardage. We get the blocks again. That's crazy. There we go. A little bit more normal. But you still see you pick up 4 yards. I'll run it again. Get another double pancake. But this is, you're putting yourself in an opportunity to pick up big yards. And that's, that's the key. The last thing that you want to do against Mid Blitz is put yourself in a position where you're panicking. You don't have quick wins. You don't have an answer. The key to beating Mid Blitz is understanding where it's strong, where it's weak, and why that is, because it's going to help you have answers and be confident in those answers, because the way you beat it is by having that counter that you feel really good about. That's going to put you in a position to succeed, because if it's making your life hell, you need to get the defense to get out of it. And the way you do it is by consistently beating it. A good defender will also disguise the Mid Blitz look. So they'll have the cover 3 drops. They'll have the cover 2 drops. They will not only run Mid Blitz out of it. If they do, well, then you can, just have them be toast every single time. Look at that. Touchdown. If they're going to live in Mid Blitz, you need to have the answers. And this also, these same things work against other blitzes, against other cover 0 blitzes. And again, I'll show you. You got an inside blitz. It works the same way. You run speed out, speed out. Picking up 15 yards. So put yourself in a position to succeed. Have answers for anything that they could possibly throw at you, because you need to. If you don't, you're going to struggle mightily against other users that particularly run a lot of cover 0 looks. And if they do, the chances are that they really like to run them. So you just got to put yourself in a position to succeed. And this is how you're going to do that. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the flip. See ya.